just been a shocking revelation from federal authorities regarding a highly private and scandalous video involving none other than JayZ and Beyonce.
In a wild twist nobody expected, shocking reports just dropped. Beyonce allegedly had a secret sit-down with the FBI. The second this leaked, social media exploded. Fans were left speechless, and the industry started buzzing like crazy. Why would one of the biggest global icons meet up with federal agents in total secrecy? So far, not a single word from Beyonce or her camp. No press release, no Instagram post, not even a casual denial. Just pure silence. And that silence, it's got everyone talking, especially with the storm still brewing around Sean Diddy Combs. This ain't just some regular Hollywood drama, this is deep. When someone links up with the FBI behind closed doors, it usually means one of two things. They're dropping info or protecting themselves before things blow up. And let's be real, the timing is too wild to ignore. Diddy's under a full-blown investigation, facing heavy accusations of sex trafficking, money laundering, and allegedly running a shady operation that's being described by some as a full-on criminal empire. Now throw Beyonce into that mix, people are shook. Now everyone even remotely tied to Diddy is getting picked apart. And yes, that includes Beyonce. People are asking, is she just being smart and staying ahead of the drama? Or is she way deeper in this mess than anyone thought? Could she be holding on to info that might flip this whole investigation on its head? With zero word from her team, the public's digging like detectives, rewatching old interviews, decoding lyrics, and watching social media like hawks to see who unfollows who. The silence, it's only making folks more obsessed. And here's the wild part. FBI meetings like this, they almost never get leaked. So the fact this one did, that's a red flag all by itself. Something way bigger could be going down behind the scenes, and this might just be the tip of the iceberg. The entertainment industry, once all glitz and glam, is starting to look like the set of a high-stakes crime thriller. Nobody's safe from the spotlight now. Let's break down how this chaos even started and how the Diddy scandal is pulling in names nobody ever thought would be connected, including Beyonce. To really understand why her alleged FBI meeting matters, you gotta zoom out and look at the full mess unraveling around Sean Diddy Combs. Back in late 2023, Diddy's name started trending, and not in a good way. Lawsuits came pouring in, and multiple individuals stepped forward with heavy claims. We're talking about accusations of sex trafficking, manipulation, blackmail, and even hidden surveillance at wild celebrity parties. It didn't stop there. Things escalated fast. The FBI ended up raiding Diddy's homes in both LA and Miami. And what they reportedly found? Straight up chilling. Hidden cameras everywhere, illegal substances, and this is the kicker, recorded footage that might drag in more A-list names. Now with all that happening, Beyonce's name being even whispered in connection, that's why people can't stop talking. The scandal's growing fast, and it's starting to look like no one at the top is untouchable. This ain't just some story about one celeb going off the rails. This is starting to look like a full-blown network, a circle of powerful people showing up to the same exclusive parties, all tied together by hush-hush NDAs and unspoken rules. Suddenly, anyone who partied with Diddy or did deals with him started getting the side-eye. JayZ, Usher, Cuba Gooding Jr., and now Beyonce. These names weren't just random guests. They were in the same rooms, moving in the same circles, sometimes through music, sometimes through business, sometimes just socially. Now those connections, they're being put under the microscope. Beyonce's name didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It started when people noticed how quiet she was. While everything else was blowing up, that silence made folks curious. Then came the bombshell rumor about the secret FBI meeting. And that's when everything shifted. Nobody's saying Beyonce did anything wrong, but when a superstar that massive suddenly gets linked to a federal investigation this big, you know people are gonna start asking why her and why now? As more names keep getting dragged into the mess and lawsuits keep going public, this scandal's rocking the entire industry. Record labels are panicking, management teams are scrambling, and publicists, they're working overtime trying to do damage control. Nobody knows who's getting exposed next, and the fallout from Diddy's collapse is still moving fast. Now, about Beyoncé's rumored involvement, people are desperately trying to separate the facts from the fiction. The second the news hit that she allegedly met with the FBI, the internet went wild. Some folks believed it without question, others swore it was just gossip, and a whole lot of people were stuck in the middle, not knowing what to believe anymore. Here's the deal, there's no solid proof yet, no leaked documents, no press release, no official word confirming anything. But that hasn't slowed down the whispers one bit. Insiders are saying that if the meeting actually went down, it wasn't because Beyoncé did anything wrong. It might have been because she knows something important enough for the feds to want to hear it straight from her. Let's not forget, Beyoncé's been in the game for decades. She's moved through the same elite circles, showed up to the same exclusive events, and crossed paths with the same power players. So if the feds are trying to piece together how Diddy's whole operation worked, it makes total sense they'd want to talk to folks who were actually there. Some insiders are saying she might have been brought in just to speak as a witness, not as a suspect. Others think she could be cooperating to make sure her name and her empire don't get pulled into something way bigger. Whatever the case is, one thing's for sure. Her team is playing it real smart. No tweets, no statements, no panic, just silence. But the public, they're restless with no concrete info. People are coming up with their own theories left and right. Some say Beyoncé knew way more than she ever let on. Others swear she's just being used as a distraction from the real drama. Either way, her name's now caught up in a convo no one saw coming. Just goes to show how fast a single rumor can spiral into a viral storm when the facts stay hidden. And when the public's just guessing, that's when chaos pops off. Truth is, Beyoncé might be completely in the clear. Maybe she's helping out quietly behind the scenes, or maybe this whole story was never really about her to begin with. Some folks think someone leaked that FBI rumor just to stir things up or distract from something else. Right now, all we've got is speculation, and that's what makes it so hard to tell what's real and what's just noise. And then, like clockwork, the spotlight turned to JayZ. Makes sense, right? For years, they've been side by side, power couple status, killing it in music and business, building a global empire together. So if one half of that power team is rumored to be sitting down with federal agents, of course people want to know what he thinks. According to insiders, JayZ didn't see this coming. Word is he was completely caught off guard, allegedly didn't even know Beyoncé was considering talking to investigators, let alone already had a meeting. Now, nothing's been confirmed publicly, but reports claim this set off major tension behind closed doors. If true, it's shaking things up not just in the public eye, but possibly inside their empire too. And just when things couldn't get more intense, JayZ's own name gets dragged into the storm. A woman listed in court docs as Jane Doe has accused both Diddy and JayZ of serious misconduct at an after-party from years back. JayZ's legal team came out swinging, shutting the claims down and calling the whole lawsuit a straight-up extortion attempt. But with everything already spinning out of control, any new accusation hits harder right now. Insiders close to the couple say they're trying to keep things solid, but it's obvious the vibe has shifted. Lately, Beyoncé's been stepping out solo, hitting events on her own, making big business moves without the usual duo energy. She's clearly putting distance between her brand and anything that even looks messy. Way fewer appearances, barely posting and staying completely silent in public. Behind the scenes, it's quiet, but not the peaceful kind. With all eyes on them and the pressure building from every direction, this power couple's now facing one of their toughest chapters yet. Both Beyoncé and JayZ are working nonstop behind the scenes to protect everything they've built. Lawyers are deep diving into contracts, and their PR teams are in full crisis mode, trying to control the narrative. Their empire, Roc Nation, Ivy Park, Tidal, it's all under serious heat right now. The mission? Keep it all from crumbling. The truth is, this scandal has pushed the Carters into a spot they've never been in before, defense mode. And sure, they've weathered drama in the past, but this hits different. Because now it's not just tabloids or online rumors, it's federal agencies involved. And that raises the stakes for everybody. But this whole thing goes way beyond just Diddy, Beyonce, or JayZ. What we're seeing now is the unraveling of something much bigger, an entire system that's been running in the background of the entertainment world for decades. A system built on power, secrets, and silence. And now that silence is cracking, the shadows are being pulled back, and for the first time, the industry is being forced to face the truth that's been hiding in plain sight. For years, there were whispers in Hollywood circles, rumors about the dark side that most folks didn't dare repeat out loud. The elite after parties, secret backroom deals, NDAs flying around like confetti. Everybody knew what was going on, but nobody spoke on it. It was like an unspoken rule. What happens behind closed doors stays there. Not because people didn't care, but because the ones in power had all the tools to keep things quiet, money, connections, and entire squads of lawyers ready to crush any threat before it saw daylight. But now that power's slipping, lawsuits are piling up, victims are stepping forward, and federal agents aren't just watching, they're kicking down doors. Raids are happening, names are being named. Little by little, the mask is coming off. This isn't just some messy celebrity drama. It could be the moment that flips the whole industry upside down. Inside Hollywood, people are nervous. You can feel the tension. Some are scrubbing their socials, deleting old pics from certain parties. Others, they're on the phone with lawyers fast because no one knows who's getting exposed next. Some folks in the industry are scrambling, digging through old contracts, calling in favors, trying to clean things up before the next bombshell drops. They're in full survival mode, trying to get ahead of whatever story might be coming next. But while the powerful are playing defense, there's another wave rising, a group of people who've had enough. We're talking producers, assistants, dancers, stylists, the behind-the-scenes workers who've stayed quiet for way too long. Now they're speaking out loud and clear. Enough with the NDAs, enough with the silence, enough with protecting big names at the cost of everyone else's safety and dignity. And this isn't just talk anymore. Real change is starting to bubble up. Boardrooms are having serious discussions. Record labels are quietly reevaluating how they operate. Contracts are getting rewritten, not just to protect stars, but to finally give employees some real protection too. Some production companies are even building out entire departments for ethical compliance and safe workspaces, stuff that barely existed before. It's not just a moment, it's the beginning of a shift the industry can't ignore anymore. There's a growing push to take a hard look at NDAs, especially the ones signed under pressure or used to cover up abuse and misconduct. But not everybody wants that door opened. Some powerful names are still clinging tight to the old system, trying to keep the walls from caving in. They're spinning narratives, doing damage control, and praying the headlines fade. But here's what they don't seem to get. We're not living in the early 2000s anymore. Social media is loud. Podcasts are unfiltered. Independent journalists aren't scared to dig deep. These platforms are now exposing things that mainstream media either ignored or avoided back in the day. And the public, they're more tuned in than ever. People aren't just scrolling headlines, they're connecting the dots, spotting contradictions, and calling out the double standards. The big question now isn't just what happened, it's who knew what and for how long, who stayed quiet, who covered for who. This whole scandal may have kicked off with Diddy, but where it ends could shake up the entire foundation of the entertainment world. And it's not just about celebrities anymore, it's about the machine behind them. The system that allowed all of this to go unchecked for years. Real change might actually be on the table now, but only if people keep pushing and the truth keeps coming out. And let's talk about the media's role in all this, because when stories like this hit, the media can either help uncover the truth or just throw more gas on the fire. The moment news of Beyonce's alleged FBI meeting dropped, the internet went crazy. Headlines like Beyonce turns on JayZ or Queen Bey exposes everything. And even secret agent Beyonce started flooding timelines. Some of those stories had no sources, others leaned on anonymous insiders. Most weren't giving facts, just stirring the pot with questions and theories. Sure, those headlines rack up clicks, but they also spread confusion, hype, and flat-out chaos in a moment when clarity matters most. In today's world, people will believe whatever flashes across their feed, no questions asked. One tweet can blow up in minutes, a rumor turns into a headline, and before anyone checks if it's even real, the damage is already done. That's exactly what went down in this case. Instead of waiting for facts, blogs and YouTubers rushed to drop their version of the story just to be first, and that kind of recklessness, it's dangerous, not just for Beyonce, but for everyone caught in the mix. When reputations, careers, and even legal cases are on the line, journalists have a duty to keep it real. Fair, solid, fact-checked reporting should come first. But in the rush for views and clicks, that responsibility gets tossed aside like it means nothing. But let's be real, it's not just the media, audiences play a role too. We gotta be smarter about what we believe and what we repost. Not every viral TikTok is facts. Not every theory in the comments section is real. Being curious is cool, but chasing drama at the cost of truth, that's where the real problem starts. If we really want justice for actual victims and real accountability for the ones abusing their power, we've got to stick to the facts, not fall for flashy clickbait. The media holds power, no doubt. But with that power comes a choice. Stir up noise for views or tell the real story with truth and care. Right now, we're caught right in the middle of something massive. What started with Diddy has spun into a full-blown storm, pulling in some of the biggest names in the game, Beyoncé, JayZ, Usher, and it's looking like more could be next. But the truth is, we still don't have the full picture. Beyoncé's rumored FBI meeting, still not confirmed. JayZ's legal situation, still unfolding, and the lawsuits around Diddy, they're stacking up fast. It's messy, confusing, and packed with unanswered questions. That's why it's crucial to stay patient. Jumping to conclusions right now only adds to the chaos. As more court documents drop, interviews surface, and official statements get released, we'll get clearer answers. But until then, staying grounded is the smartest move we've got. Soon enough, the full picture is going to come into focus, but until then, it's all right to ask questions, and it's just as all right to wait for real answers. What we do know, the entertainment world is shifting big time. The walls of silence are cracking, long hidden secrets are spilling out, powers being called out like never before, and the stars who once hid behind their fame, some of them are finally being held to account. Fans are paying attention, the public's locked in, and there's no hitting rewind now. Whatever comes next, let's just hope it leads us closer to the truth, real justice, and a safer space for everyone, not just the rich and famous.